Hi, I'm John Belushi. Just having a cup of coffee before the show. It's kind of a tradition with me. Here at Saturday Night Live, we have another tradition that the show is always open with the words, "Live from New York,
It's time for the Big Apple and Thailand special to begin. Come on in, find a seat so we can get started. Many people love the Big Apple, but I'm not much of a fan. Many people love the Big Mango, but once again, I'm not much of a fan. Of course, I'm referring to New York City and Bangkok. Now, I live out in the boonies of Thailand, and guess what I see on a weekly basis? I will spot a local wearing a t-shirt that has something about New York on it. These t-shirts seem to be everywhere, and every night market usually has a shop that sells fakes. Take a close look. Do you think these t-shirts are authentic? New York City has also been a hot spot for knockoff goods, especially in areas like Canal Street and Chinatown. It's practically legendary for its sidewalk vendors offering imitation designer handbags, watches, and sneakers. During this program, I'll let you be the judge of what t-shirts are authentic or not. To help you out, let's warm up with this shirt. It looks legit and well designed. However, there is one minor mistake. If anyone can point out where New York State is located, I would appreciate it. I've looked and looked. Moving on. Back in 1990, an Army buddy and I went to New York City to see one of his friends graduate from Sarah Lawrence College. As it turns out, Paul Newman gave the commencement address because both his wife and daughter were graduating. I must say, his movies are much better than his speech was. Anyway, after the ceremony, we were invited to visit another friend who lived in Brooklyn.
Like the folks you meet on, like to plant my feet on the Brooklyn Bridge. What a lovely view from heaven looks at you from the Brooklyn Bridge. I love to listen to the wind through her strings, the song that she sings for the town. I love to look up at the clouds in her hair. She's learned to wear like a crown. If you've been a rover, journey's end lies over.
People love New York pizza. They like ours better. Walking on the sidewalks in Brooklyn was a learning experience. Those folks tended to walk quickly and seemed to be in a hurry. Most Thais don't walk that way. Instead, they walk like D. And that happens to be who I am following at a local night market. She tends to walk slowly and never in a straight line and often stops. This method of meandering has its pros and cons. Now let's shift gears and head to something that New York does not have, and that would be Iron Buffalo races. This yearly event is usually held here locally after the rainy season begins and the rice crop has been planted. You might be thinking, that's pretty neat, but what does it have to do with New York? Let's zoom in on the crowd. Now do you see New York? The day of the tractor race, the sun was out in full force along with the occasional burst of light rain. And that's why you see all the umbrellas. Look closely and you can see the lady in the middle wearing a t-shirt from New York City. At the bottom of the photograph is a young boy wearing a Spider-Man shirt. Surprisingly, the Big Apple is where much of the 2002 Spider-Man movie was filmed. Now, between the two shirts you just saw, which one is probably a knockoff? And while there, I saw these guys. I'll guarantee you that one of these shirts is a copy. Which one? Did you know that Bangkok has more universities than New York City does? I'm not certain where Pacific University is in the Big Apple, though. I'm positive that you recognize the Statue of Liberty. I happen to live a couple of hours away from another Statue of Liberty. New York City is known for its skyline and fancy penthouses. Bangkok also has tons of skyscrapers and more are going up constantly. This view is from the second highest hotel in Southeast Asia, and the top rooms go for about $300 a night. The second tallest hotel in New York City is the Four Seasons, and the top rooms there go for about $1,700 a night. So yes, the Big Mango is cheaper for now, but prices are steadily rising. Much like NYC, Bangkok also has a few parks and green spaces. Most people have heard of Central Park in New York, but do you know who actually owns it? Jed Clampett does. It's true. I saw it on the internet.
Now, where do you folks want to go? Are you stopping at some hotel?
No, just take us to the piece of property we's buying, Central Park.
You're buying Central Park?
Oh, yes, we's gonna farm it and raise hogs and chickens and cattle there.
Many people say Bangkok, and quite a few Thais still say Krung Thep. Luckily, we don't have to say the official name of Bangkok.
กรุงเทพมหานครอามรรัตนโกสินทร์มหินทรายุทธยามหาดิลกพบนพรัตน์ราชธานีบุรีลมอุดมราชนิเวศน์มหาสถานอมรพิมานอวตารสถิตสังฆทัตติยวิษณุกรรมประสิทธิ์
The official name of New York City is the City of New York. That's the formal name used in legal documents, but in everyday conversations, I've never heard anyone say that. Years ago, I was in the Big Mango watching the horse races. Now, I must admit that I have no idea where this nickname came from, but I'm guessing it is a play on words in regards to the Big Apple. Did you ever wonder why NYC is often called the Big Apple? It started in the 1920s. A sports writer for the New York Morning Telegraph had been in New Orleans covering the horse races. And then he heard stable hands referring to New York's racetrack as the Big Apple, or the ultimate prize in horse racing. He began using that phrase in his column, and that nickname is still popular today. Surprisingly, Gotham is another nickname for New York City. This goes back to 1807 when Washington Irving used it to describe the city, albeit with a slightly unflattering tone. Moving on. While exact numbers are tricky to pin down, estimates suggest that about 1% of New York City's population identifies as Buddhist. Given New York City's population of over 8 million, that translates to roughly 80,000 Buddhists. However, on this day at the local temple near me, there was only one New York t-shirt. So let's take a New York minute and take a quick peek at some more Big Apple shirts.
Up on the roof, up on the roof. When this old world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space. On the roof, it's peaceful as can be, and there the world below can't bother me. Let me tell you now, when I come home feeling tired and weak, I go up where the
New Yorkians often say Soho for south of Houston Street. And they also say NoHo for north of Houston Street. And not to be left behind, many Thais also have fun with nicknames to describe something. For example, there is Hai So, which means, and then there is Lo So.
New York loves George's Pizza.
New York love George Pizza. New York love George Pizza.
To be honest, I have no desire to visit the Big Apple again. But
I want to go to New York City because I heard that a lot of the shopping mall there and also high soul people there. You just want to pretend to be the high soul at New York City.
thanks for watching, and I will see you later.